Every time you let someone escalate unchecked, you don't look calm, you look outmatched, and your team sees it. So, welcome to Solving People Problems, the show where leaders come when the people part of leadership becomes the hardest part. I'm Brenda Neckbottle, and I spent 30 years in HR crisis management and handling the kind of workplace chaos that no one ever warns you about. So every episode, we get straight to the point. Real problems, real people, real solutions you can use today. No theory, no sugarcoating, just the tools you need to lead with authority, protect your sanity, and keep your team performing at its best. So by the time their voice gets louder, your team is already walking on eggshells. You feel it in the shift, the tone, the tension, the way people stop making eye contact, the way the energy starts orbiting around one person's attitude instead of the team's goals. Because this isn't just disagreement, it's a hijack attempt. They want a reaction. They want to push your buttons and they want to make you look like the problem by escalating until you either explode or retreat. And most leaders, well, they take the bait and they match the energy. Then they try to explain their way out of it. Or worse, they say something and let the bad behavior control the tempo. Why? Because no one ever taught them how to lead a fight without throwing a punch. They think that they calm equals weakness, and they think that silence equals peace. And meanwhile, the team, they're absorbing all of it and learning that whoever gets the loudest is the one who wins. But here's the truth. You don't de-escalate chaos by getting smaller. You de-escalate it by taking the damn wheel. So here's what works. I want you to say this. We're not going to solve this with volume, so let's take the emotion out so we can fix the real issue. Now, that one sentence has the ability to neutralize the fire without dousing the person. It will also help reposition you as the calm authority, not the reactive victim. It signals that leadership doesn't flinch under pressure, and that's the real power move. Not yelling louder, but staying in control when someone else has clearly lost theirs. And the truth is that people don't just escalate out of nowhere, they escalate when the environment allows it. They test that boundary until someone makes it safe and firm enough to come and back down. So if the room feels like a ticking time bomb, it's not just because they're explosive, it's because the leadership hasn't disarmed the energy. You don't need to outshout them, you need to outlead them. So how many more blowups are you going to tiptoe around before you stop managing emotion and start commanding order? So can we agree that every time you let someone escalate unchecked, you're not modeling composure, you're teaching the team that chaos outranks leadership? Now, how many of you watched the room shift the moment someone's tone got sharp, eye contact vanishing, energy sucked into their orbit? How many of you felt yourself shrinking back, telling yourself like you were being calm when really you were just giving the floor away? How many of you realized too late that silence didn't make you the bigger person, it made you look outmatched? And realize this, that escalation isn't about volume, it's about control. The second you let them dictate the tempo, you've already lost the room. Because you don't prove strength by shouting, you prove it by holding steady when the volume rises. You don't keep order by ignoring eruptions, you keep it by resetting the terms before the explosion defines the culture. And you don't gain credibility by absorbing chaos, you gain it by cutting through it with clarity that doesn't flinch. So, where in your leadership are you still mistaking silence for strength? Where are you allowing loud voices to set the tone while your authority fades into the background? And what would change if the next time someone escalated, you didn't match their energy, you redirected it? Calm isn't weakness, calm is command. And if you own the room instead of surrendering it, that begins today on October 22nd in Virginia Beach. My Leadership Unleashed live event will show you what to say, when to say it, and why it works. So tense rooms settle and your team moves. It's not just another leadership event. It's the one room where you'll finally get the tools to deal with the chaos no one warned you about. It'll help you deal with the employees who push back and that performance that slips, and the team dynamics that drain the ever-loving life out of your leadership. So join me in 2 Navy SEALs for a full day of high-intensity reset that will shift how you lead under pressure. Because trust, clarity, and control, look, that does not happen by accident. You build it. Seats are limited, and I think we may even have a few VIP spots left. So go to leadershipunleashedlive.com and book your spot today.